Hi friends, welcome to my channel today and make sure you subscribe and like my channel. Today do we're gonna read a lesson from NCRT book in English supplementary. Third lesson, the selfish giant. The selfish giant. The giant garden was beautiful and children loved to play in it. The giant was so selfish and built a high wall around a lovely garden. Children didn't want to enter the garden thereafter, nor did spring and summer, till the giant experienced a change of heart. Every afternoon, as they were coming from the school, the children used to go and play in the giant's garden. It was a large and lovely garden with soft green grass here and it and thereover the grass stood with beautiful flowers like stars, and there were 12 peach trees that in the springtime broke out into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl, and it in the autumn bore rich fruit. The birds sat on the trees and sang so sweetly that the children used to play and stop their games in order to listen to them. How happy we are here! They cried to each other. One day the giant came back. He had been to visit his friend the Cornish ogre and had stayed with him for 7 years. When he arrived, he saw children playing in the garden. What are you doing here? He cried in a very gruff voice, and the children ran away. This is my own garden, and it is my own garden, said the giant. Anyone can understand that, and I will allow nobody to play it in but myself. So he built a high wall around it and put up a notice board. Trespasses will be prosecuted. He was very selfish giant. The poor children had now nowhere to play. They tried to play on the road, but the road was very dusty and full of hard stones, and they did not like it. They used to wander round high walls when their lessons were over and talk about the beautiful garden inside. How happy we are there, they said to each other. Then the spring came, and all over the world country there were little blossoms and little birds. Only in the garden of selfish giant it was still winter. The birds did not care to sing in it. There were no children, and trees forgot to blossom. Once a beautiful flower put its head out of the grass, but when it saw the notice board, it was sorry for the children that it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. The only people who were pleased were the snow and frost. Spring has been forgotten this garden, they cried, so we will live here all the year round. The snow covered up with the grass and with her great white cloak, and frost painted all the trees silver. Then they invited North Wind to stay with them, and he came. He wrapped in furs and rode all day about the garden and blew chimney pots down. This is a delightful spot, he said. We must ask Hale on a visit. So the Hale came. Every day for 3 hours he rattled on the roof of castle till he broke most of the slate, and then he ran around and round and the garden as fast as he could go. He was dressed in grey, and his breath was like ice. I cannot understand why the spring is so late in coming, said the jellyfish giant. As he sat at the window and looked out at the cold white garden, I hope there will be a change in the weather. But spring never came, nor the summer. The autumn gave the golden fruit to every garden, but to the giant's garden she gave none. He is too selfish, she said. So it was always winter there, and north wind and hail, and the frost, and the snow danced about through the gas. One morning, the giant was lying awake in bed and he heard some lovely music. It sounded so sweet to his ears and that he thought it must be the king's musicians passing by. It was really only a little linnet singing outside his window, but it was so long since he heard a bird singing in his garden that it seemed to him the most beautiful music in the world. Then the hail stopped dancing over his head, and north wind ceased roaring, and a delicious perfume came to him through open the casement. I believe the spring has come at last, said Giant, and he jumped out of the bed and looked out. To celebrate of the return of children, trees covered themselves with birds and blossoms. The giant was delighted to see his friends back, especially a little boy whom he loved dearly. The little boy soon disappeared only to return much later. He saw a most wonderful sight. Through a little hole in the wall, the children had crept in, and they were sitting into the branches of trees. In every tree that they could see, there was a little child, and the trees were so glad to have the children back again, and they had covered themselves with blossoms and were waving their arms gently. Above the children's head, the birds were flying about, the twittering with the delight, and flowers were looking up through the green grass and laughing. It was a lovely scene. Only in one corner it was still winter. It was the farthest corner of the garden, and in it was standing a little boy. He was so small that he could not reach up the branches of the tree, and he was wandering all around it, crying bitterly. The poor tree was still covered with frost and snow, and north wind was blowing and roaring above it. Climb, boy, climb, little boy, said the tree, and it bent its branches down as low as it could, but the boy was too tiny, and the giant's heart melted, and he looked out. How selfish I have been, he said. Now I know why spring would not come here. I will put that poor little boy on the top of the tree, and then I will knock down the wall, and my garden shall be the children's playground forever and ever. He was really very sorry for that he had done. So he crept downstairs and opened the front door quite softly and went out into the garden. But when the children saw him, they were so frightened and that they all ran away, and the garden became winter again. Only the little boy did not run, for his eyes were so full of tears that he could not see the giant coming. And the giant stole up behind him and took him gently in his hands and put him into the tree. And the tree broke at once and blossomed, and the birds came and sang on it, and the little boy outstretched out his arms and flung them around the giant's neck and kissed him. And the other children, when they saw that the giant was not wicked any longer, came running back and went with the spring. It is your garden now, it is your garden now, little children, said the giant. And he took a great axe and knocked down the wall. And when the people were going to the market at 12 o'clock, they found Jane playing with the children in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. All day long they played, and it was evening they came to the giant to bid him goodbye. But where is your little companion? He said. The boy I put into the tree. The giant loved him best because he kissed him. We don't know, answered the children. He has gone away. You must tell him to be sure and come tomorrow, said the giant. But the children said that they do not know where he lived and had never seen him before, and the giant felt very sad. Every afternoon when school was over, the children came and played with giant, but the little boy whom the giant loved was never seen again. The giant was very kind to all the children, yet never been angry, and he longed for his little friend and often spoke to him. How I would like to see him, he used to say. Years went by, and the giant grew very old and feeble. He could not play anymore, and he sat in a huge armchair and watched the children at their games and admired in his garden. I have many beautiful flowers, he said, but the children are the most beautiful flowers of all. One winter morning he looked out of the window and he was dressing. He did not hate the winter now, for knew that it was merely the spring escape, that the flowers were resting. Suddenly he rubbed his eyes in the wonder and looked and looked. In certainly was a marvelous sight. In the farthest corner of the garden was a tree quite covered with lovely white blossoms. Its underneath too the stood little boy that he had loved. Downstairs ran the giant in a great joy, and out into the garden. When he came to quite close, his face grew and red with anger, and he said, Who hath dared to wound? For on the palms of the child's hands were the prints of 2 nails, and prints of 2 nails were on its little feet. Who hath dared to wound thee? Cried Giant. Tell me that I take my big sword and slay him. Nah, answered the child, but these are the wounds of love. Who art thou? Said the giant. And a strange awe fell on him, and he knelt before the little child. And he said, Child smiled on the giant, and said to him, You let me play once in your garden. Today you shall come with me to my garden, which is paradise. And when the children ran into that afternoon, they found the giant lying dead under the tree that covered the white blossoms.